This is Mr. Eid Ali. I am the president of Mulda, Minnesota Uber and Lyft Drivers Association. And here are the team members of Mulda. We're here today right in front of the state building or the Capitol building of Minnesota. We have a press conference here that we are going to share with the public. As you all know, Mulda is an organization that advocates for the well-being of the drivers, and it has been out there for a little over a year. And Mulda has started to create some legislations that they were going to use for the protection of the drivers. And that legislation was brought to the Capitol where the legislators are. As you are all aware of, that bill went through all the chambers of Minnesota, basically the chamber of the Senate and the chamber of the House as well. And it went all the way to the governor's desk. It was all over the place. So many of folks around the world were following this progress because it was a Mulda-made bill, basically a bill that was created by the drivers in Minnesota. So it was a bill that was giving a minimum protection to the Minnesota Uber and Lyft drivers. As we all know, after that bill went to the desk of the governor said that he was not deciding to sign the bill. He was uncommitted for quite some time. And the drivers were worried about where their next phase is going to be, because of after they have had that rough journey where they have done everything possible to get that bill all the way to the governor, and the governor was saying that he was undecided or uncommitted to sign that bill that was sitting on his desk for a few days. So finally, as many of you were following, that dear bill that was giving the minimum protection to the Minnesota Uber and Lyft drivers was finally vetoed by the governor of Minnesota. It was the most greatest disappointment that those hard-working drivers came back with to their homes. We are trying to share the grievances that those thousands of drivers and hundreds of thousands of their people or families were having because of the impact of the veto of the governor. As you all know, we are Minnesotans, and we wanted to make sure that we are not left behind. We wanted to be honored because of what the Minnesota Uber and Lyft drivers do every day is a novel thing. They're part of the economy. They move the economy from point A to point B. They're part of the circulation of the greater Minnesota's economy. They deserve to have the minimum protection that they have been fighting for. We think that majority of those folks and their family members have been voting for the Democratic Party for over 2 decades. mainly the immigrants who do living for driving. They have been expecting to get a different outcome. And this was a very devastating outcome which they haven't recovered yet. So we want to share to all Minnesotans who will have the chance to see and view this press conference that the thousands of drivers who depend on driving are very, very disappointed with the result of their bill and where it ended. As the head of Mulda, I myself was impacted by the outcome of that bill. I used to spend at least 5-6 hours a day here at the Capitol, 5 days a week, sometimes 6-7 days a week, to make sure that those hard-working drivers to get the minimum protection they need. And it was very unfortunate that after they did what they were told was the right thing to do, that they were not honored. So we are going to express the grievances and the sadnesses and the disappointments of the final outcome of what we have been fighting for the last 11 months. I do have my fellow team members, Mulda, standing my right and also to my left, who have the same feeling. And hopefully one or two of them will say something about the current situation of where we are at today. So I'm going to hand it over to my sister to the right, Mariana.
Hi everyone, my name is Mariana Brown, and as each says, we're all mind blown by the way the governor vetoed our bill. I realize he put a committee to help us to come up with a better plan, but he didn't tell the whole world and everyone that the committee is for next year. We have to wait another year while we are struggling here in the state of Minnesota. These drivers have rent to pay, they have bills to pay, and Governor Walsh is in power. He has the power to veto a bill, but the only bill he ever vetoed was the Black and Brown People bill. This is our livelihood. We don't make money as people think that we do, because a lot of people think we make a lot of money. We don't, because the bulk of the money is in Uber's pocket. Uber take more than 50% of what we make. Uber takes it, and then the little that we get, the peanuts that we get, we have to live off that. We got to pay bills, we got to take care of our families, and that is not fair. Governor Walsh claimed that Uber is because of Uber was #1 that they leave in the state of Minnesota. But Uber would not leave, it's just a threat. And as a politician who was voted by the people and was put there by the people, they didn't listen to the people of Minnesota, they listened to Uber. That's #1, and say they're going to leave. Uber at the time said they weren't going to offer $1.17 per mile and 34 cents per minute. Once that bill was vetoed, that $17 was off the table. So Uber is playing games, and other people think that Uber is doing something for us. No, they're not. And there's consequences when it comes to a politician. And number two, it says, is this Dakota. Okay, Dakota County have 1,500 disabled people. If Governor Walsh wants to look out for us driver at Mulda, he could offer us that contract for that 1,500 people. Will gladly take it and serve the county and the state that we live in, because we are proud to be Minnesotans. But right now, that pride we're down on that pride, because we are all upset. We're all mind blown. How could you, all these months that we hear going around late nights, early mornings, even the senators and the House going back and forth. Some people mention when they go out, they have a bunch of layers of coat and shivering from the cold just to get here, to get a vetoed when you never did one before. Why us? What we ever done to you, black and brown people? Is it the right thing for you to do, or are you shooting yourself in the foot? There's other things that need to be done, but we're here. We're people. We're still here, still going down to work and taking the same people back and forth and taking you guys, politicians, the disabled. We're still here, but at what cost to us? What price do we have to pay? Do you sleep good at night, Governor Walsh? Governor Walsh, we are your people. We are the black and brown community. When you wanted to vote, you came to us for help. We helped, we voted. We come there. We were told that the Democrat Party is a good party. You were a good people. You never vote to a bill, and you look for the black and brown people. What about now? How are you going to live? Or should we live off the state? Should we go to the state for medical, for food, and for shelter? There's drivers tell me they're back on their rents. Their car payments are due. We can't survive on this that we're making. You talk about New York. I live in New York 41 years. I drove Uber there for 5 years. I could survive in New York. I came here and I was so disappointed to see how Uber treat the people of Minnesota. They treat them like nobody. There's no law in place. We need to put something in place, and not next year. We need it now. We are suffering now. We need result now, not next year. Contact Uber and decide what to do with us. We need to show that you're with us. Show some form of solidarity. We stand with each other in solidarity here tonight, but show that you're with us. Not just get the community for next year. Next year is a year away. We could die for hunger by then. We could be homeless by then. What are you doing for us in the state of Minnesota? We need you to come forward and help us. We went to you for help. We went to the committee for help. We were told that if we go to the right channels, you will help us. We will get what we need. But we're down on our face right now. You bring us to our knees by what you do. You don't realize appointing a committee is good, but for 1 year, no, it's not. We need answers now. We need food on our plate now, not next year. So I ask you and I implore you, talk to whoever you need to talk to and help us, because we put you there. You were voted by us, black and brown people, along with others, but we voted for you. We give you our trust, and you crush it like nothing. You stomp on us, which you shouldn't have done. You shouldn't have done that, because we are here. We supported you. And when we came to you for support, to slap us in the face. That's the worst slap we could get, by vetoing our bill. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And now I'm going to give my brother Dawood to my left.
አመሰግናለሁ። እኔ ዳዊት ካሳ እባላለሁ ከኢትዮጵያ ኮሚኒቲ በአማርኛ ነው የማወራው። እንግዲህ እኛ እዚህ ያለነው የኡበርና ሊፍት ድራይቨሮች ሹፌሮች ነን። በዚህ በትዊን ሲቲ የምንሰራ የሚኒሶታ ድራይቨሮች ነን። ቢል አቅርበን እዚህ ታውቁታላችሁ፣ ተሰምታችሁታል ከዚህ በፊት ለገቨርነሩ ቬቶ አድርገውት ጥለውታል ነው የተባለው። ይሄ በጣም ዲስአፖይንት አድርጎናል፣ አስከፍቶናል በአጠቃላይ። ምክንያቱም ግሩፕ ኦፍ ፒፕል ሴኔት አልፎ ሃውስ አልፎ ሴኔት አልፎ እሳቸው ጋር ደረሰ። እሳቸው ደግሞ ወርታች ገለበጡት ለምን እንደሆነ አናውቅም ይሄ መሆን አልነበረበትም በጣም ከፍቶናል ያንን አሁንም ለማስተካከል ጊዜ አላቸው ብለን እንገምታለን እሱን እንዲያስተካክሉልን ነው የምንፈልገው ምንም አልጠየቅንም የጠየቅነው ትንሽ ፕሮቴክሽን ነው a little protection just ሌላ አይደለም እና የሚከፈለን ፌር ይሁን ነው የሚከፈለን ገንዘብ ከኡበር እና ሊፍት ብዙ ከሚወስዱት ለኛ የሚደርሰን እኛ ነን በክረምትም በበጋም ኢንተራክት የምናደርገው ከከስተመር ጋር የምንገናኘው እኛ ነን we are the one who interact with the customer with the weather winter በሆነ ጊዜ summer በሆነ ጊዜ ሁሉን ነገር ጎማ አስተካክለን ለራይደሩ ፕሮቴክሽን ሰጠን የምንሄደው እኛ ነን ለኛ የሚያስፈልገን ይከፈለን ነው ብዙም አልጠየቅንም ያንን ግን ሊያዳምጡን አልቻሉም ምንድነው የሚለው መጽሐፍ ቅዱስ አባት የቤት ራስ ነው ይላል በዛ ነው የተረዳሁት አባት የቤት ራስ ነው የቤት ራስ ደግሞ ልጆቹን ይሰማል ልጆቹ ሲያለቅሱ ምንድነው ምን ሆነው ነው ብሎ ይጠይቃል እርባቸው ከሆነ የራባቸውን ነገር ያሟላል ታርዘው ከሆነ ልብስ የሚለብሱት አጥቶ ከሆነ የሚለብሱትን ነገር ሊያሟላ ያደርጋል ሚኔሶታ የኛ ቤት ናት እንደ ቤታችን ነው ያየነው ገቨርነሩ እንደ አባት አይተን መጠን ስናለቅስባቸው ሊሰሙን አልቻሉም ይሄ በጣም አስከፍቶናል ይሄ በጣም ያሳዝነኛል በእውነት ነው የምልያለሁት I just want to say in English one thing so Minnesota is our home Minnesota is our home so what the Bible says that the father is the head of the house the father is the head of the house the father listens his children that's why we came here we put Governor Tim Walz as a father of Minnesota as a father of the house we came here we cry here he didn't listen to us he has to ask us why did these people lack I have to listen to them so he didn't say that he just turned it down up the bill so ይሄ በጣም የሚያሳዝን ነገር ነው ለኛ አዝነናል እኔ በጣም እንደዛ ነው የተሰማኝ አሁንም ጊዜ አለው he still have time to fix it he has to fix our the bill and then we have to go ahead we didn't ask much more we just asked a little thing he has to listen for us thank you so much
thank you so much brother David and now I'm going to give it to Mr. Mohammed who is the vice chair of Mulda
Really, it was very hard to believe that Democratic governor will veto a bill that was passed by the Democratic legislators. It was very hard. He is not pro workers. He is not, a Democrat. It is very hard to believe, something like that to happen, from a Democratic governor. It was not really something believable to us. It was very hard. It was very disappointing. And now if he's saying that he's going to correct something, executive order or something, it has to be a right way. I don't know, he was misled by some, other people. I don't think it is all about the governor. Maybe there was some other influences. That's what we think. So, but if next time, if he want to take consultation from someone, he has to be careful who he's consulting. This is, how Democratic governor can oppose workers, blue-collar workers, minority people who fought for him. We fought for him. We liked him. We never expected from him to do something like that. It was so crazy. It was unbelievable, really. And if he want to correct something, we are waiting, but we have a doubt. We have our doubt about it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mohammed. He was the vice president of Mulda, and now I'm going to welcome Brother Ahmed.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dhammaan waa idin salaamay walaalaha guddiga Mulda ee meesha jooga iyo dhammaan dadka Soomaaliyeed ee luqadayda fahmaya inaan dhageysanaya magacaygu waa Axmed Cigalle sida gudoomiyuhu u sheegay kamid ah darawaliinta Uber iyo Lyft degan gobolka Minnesota waxaan meeshan isugu nimiday arrinkii biilka aan in muddo ah ka soo shaqeeynay governorka gobolkeena oo iyadoo labada aqal oo biilkii ka soo baasay iyadoo dimuqraadigu ay house-ka iyo sanadka haystaan oo codka diidmada saaray aadan uga xunnahay mana ahayn midaan malaysanaynay taas waxaan leeyahay governor ka noqo waxaan kaloon rabaa inaan u mahad celiyo dhammaan darawaladii waqtigooda qaaliga ah geliyay biilkan iyo lacagtooda oo lawyerka iyo wax walba qarasha ku baxay waxaan leeyahay waa mahadsantihiin waxaan rabaa inaan u sheego dhammaan community-ga Soomaaliyeed meel kasta ay joogaan gaar ahaan gobolka Minnesota inay jiraan dad Soomaali ah oo ururo samaystay ummadda inay ku dhibaateeyaan oon ognahay lugna ku lahaa biilkan dhibaatada loo geysanayay waxaan leenahay waa idin ognahay waa idin la soconnaa reportkiinaan haynaa xogaha dhabtaan haynaa haddaadan ka waantoobina faraha aad kula jirtaan ururka mulda iyo biilka darawalada waxay noqon doontaa inaan tallaabo sharciya qaadno publicna aan keenno intaasna waxaan rabaa qolooyinka dhibka ku haya ururka mulda ee darawalada masaakiinta ah xuquuqdooda raadsanaysa macaashka ka dhex raadinaya aad iyo aad u mahadsantihiin assalaamu calaykum waraxmatullahi wabarakaatu
That was Ahmad, and then I'm now going to welcome Brother Abdulkader.
Thank you, Mr. President. Assalaamu calaykum waraxmatullaahi wabarakaatu. Wax badan uma gelin dhammaan waxa hadlay gudoomiyaha iyo ku-xigeenka iyo walaalaha kale. Waxaan rabaa inaan idin sheego dadka East Africaanka ama Soomaalidaba hadday noqoto waddankan sharci baynu ku joognaa, sharci baynu ku degannahay, dad cod bixiyaal baynu nahay. biil baynu kaansanay Uber iyo Lyft aynu xaqeena kaga doonayno biilkii sanad buu soo socday aqalka si wacan buu ku soo dhaafay sanadkana si wacan buu ku soo dhaafay governorkii aanu islahayn hawshiina si tartiib ku dhameynaya ayaa biilkeeni fiito saaray iyo xafiiskiisa iyo ku xigeenkiisa isaga dad badan baa loo soo dhex maray dhammaan waxaan cambaaraynayaa xisbiga dimuqraadiga kor iyo hoos marka electionka la gaadho waa la xisaabtamaynaa haddii ilaahay yiraahdo waa la xisaabtamaynaa codkaygu qiimuu leeyahay iyaguna halkan ay maamulaan annaguna codkayagaanu maamulaa
The end of our press conference. I'm going to thank to all of the members of Mulda. As the head of Mulda, I want to say that this was an experience that we have had for the last 10 months, which we have learned so much. Mulda is standing stronger than it was before. Mulda is much better than it was before. It's got a wider support that it didn't have before. Mulda is going to keep working and fighting for the rights of the drivers. So we are going to say again to our fellow Minnesotans, we're expecting from you guys to support the fight, which is the fight that we're fighting for the right fight. We want you to support the right fight that we're fighting, which is to get the most needed protection for those hardworking drivers. Thank you so much.